That's my understanding. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for coming to our Muncie Sanitary District Board meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Joe, you'll lead us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first order of the business is the approval of the meeting minutes of May 29th, 2014.
I have reviewed the minutes of May 29th and would move that we accept the minutes as presented.
I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And consideration of claims totaling $1,149,054.24. I've looked these over. Appreciate getting these out in a few days in advance. That was good. I would move approval of the claims.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We don't have any old business. Under new business, we have Rick Conrad, consideration of a change order.
Morning, Rick Conrad, Muncie Sanitary District's Bureau of Water Quality. This change order is for Ross Lawn and Landscaping, that is removing the trees along the levee per Army Corps of Engineers requirements. This is for 15 additional trees that were located in the McCulloch Park area for $7,920. These counts were not in the original bid, but it is within the scope of the original project. These trees are within 15 feet of the toe. They were just discovered after being out there and removing. And I believe that's it. If I have any questions about that.
Just to let everybody know, since that sounds like a big number for 15 trees, but there's a little more to it, just knocking them down.
It is a fairly complicated process, one, just to get back there, but they also have to remove the trees per Corps specs. They have to replace soil per Corps specs. So it's a little bit more detailed than just cutting them down. It is a very regimented process for them.
Do you have any questions? Any questions for Rick?
I'd move that we accept the change order that Rick just presented.
Recommend, okay. I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Rick. We have another change order to discuss. Scott Domke with GRW, CSO 024.
Hi, thanks. This is Scott Domke with GRW. CSO 24 had some issues to resolve to wrap the project up, raise a couple manholes to grade, and then this is the true up final quantity change, so adjustments based on installed quantities, and that's what we're asking for approval on this job today. And I don't have the number in front of me. I think it's 13,000 something.
13,134.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there's still escrow held on this project.
And Scott, this project is where?
Cowan Road,
Okay.
And we're pretty much done?
pretty much done. Just really some cleanup. Got to raise these manholes up, and there's some grease buildup in the sewer we're going to talk about after this meeting.
Okay. Okay. You look that over, Joe? You ready?
I'd move we accept the change order for CSO 24.
I would second that. Any questions? Anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a couple other
Sure.
capital project related issues if you guys will allow. Some partial escrow releases on two other projects. CSO 2, which is in the Burlington and Dudley area. The contractor has asked for a partial release of escrow on that project, which would amount to $20,299.85. It would still leave us with 5% of the total amount remaining. There are some pending changes on that job in the future, but they would like to try to release some of their bonding capacity, get some of their bonding capacity back by releasing the escrow on the project components that were completed over a year ago. And,
So you've punch listed those.
and we have gone through that. There's still some escrow, and there's still some work to be done potentially on this job, but
Okay,
so we would ask authorization to release escrow on CSO2 in the amount of $20,299.85, which is just a bank account release.
Yeah,
It's money that's already been paid.
it's sitting there, right?
And then on PO sewer, similarly, release $125,000 of escrow out of $162,000 something. And then this will allow the contractor to make payments on some of the subs that we've been talking about, prove that that's happened for the final release to occur.
And how old is that one on the PO?
How old? I don't understand.
Like you said, the other one was about a year.
Oh, this project started, they all started about the same time. They all started about a year ago. This project just completed, however, March, approximately March.
and so these escrow funds are held in the bank until we agree, both
Correct.
sides agree to release those?
Yes.
Okay.
And they need joint authorization to release from the district and then from the contractor.
I would move that we release the dollar value listed by Scott for the escrows.
The two projects, I would second that. Any questions, anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye. Last item under new business is a trail update, grant introduction on the DNR trail by Phil Tevis.
Morning, Phil Tevis, Flatland Resources. The sanitary district applied for a trail grant that will help with levee maintenance and whatnot that goes from High Street to Cardinal Greenway. And one of the components of this grant, should it be awarded, is we have to have a public presentation of the grant and for comment and things like that. So this is the introduction of the grant. The grant's submitted. It has been reviewed. It's a very competitive year. With the DNR, I think there were 20 applications this year. They would typically award 6. So we're just introducing it. I have a map if anybody needs to look at it, and I can answer questions.
Can we, Megan, can you put the map in the minutes, the graphic here?
And you say the grant has been sent off?
It's
everything?
submitted. It's made it through its initial review. They are very competitive. It's an 80-20 grant, so the state pays 80%, the local would pay 20%.
So this is in an area we have no trail,
We
obviously.
have no trail,
Okay.
and it's around the high school. And with the levee work, the fence being moved, and some of the vegetation, it actually creates an opportunity for this, which couldn't have happened previously.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Well, good luck.
Yeah, we hope.
Hope we're successful. Any questions from the public on that, on the trail, on the grant application?
Oh, maybe just how much?
The DNR will award $150,000, and then 20% is a local match, and that can be either in kind or cash. So 187 is the max.
And it's pavement or gravel or dirt base?
The only thing that you, with that amount of money, you could only get gravel in, right?
Okay, thank you, Phil. Any public comments? Any other business anyone like to bring before? Yes, sir.
John Hampton, 2304 North Benton Road, Muncie, Indiana. Actually, I have a question. One of the MSD customers contacted me at SOS, and based on something they read in the Muncie Free Press, they were confused about the billing situation going into the future. Is MSD going to be sending out one bill to landowners, or a bill to landowners and a bill to tenants simultaneously?
Nikki, would you like to, before we try to answer, could you tell us what your opinion is on that?
Nikki Grigsby, District Administrator, Muncie Sanitary District. Joe can help me answer this, but beginning in August, that's the notification time period that we gave the public, that if they are a property owner and their bill was currently going to a tenant, it needed to be in the property owner's name. Does that make sense? So the bills will go to the property owner. No longer the tenants. No. You're welcome.
And we've got to tweak that, so we'll get there.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki.
Paul Hall, 3816 East Nancy Lane, Muncie, Indiana. I have some questions regarding the sewer system you guys are potentially putting in. The whole reason the initial complaint was done was to stop a leak on my property, which I've had to take care of myself. I'm not sure that having you guys install a sewer and me spending another $5,000 is in my best interest. So I have a couple questions. I'd like to know how this system is going to be connected to my sewer lines. I'd like to know who's going to be responsible for the maintenance and repair of these lines and when that maintenance ends, if it does. If I'm responsible for any of that, will there be any guarantees whatsoever? I know that I'd like to know, you guys are obviously going to have to disconnect my septic, or if there's a hidden cost I'm going to have. I want to know who's going to be responsible if that breaks in my property at that point, since you guys don't do work on private property. And I need to have all these questions answered before I'm willing to let you guys proceed to install them on my property. I'm the only house on that system that's not connected to an overflow whatsoever. My system is 100% functional and 100% working. So the health department issue does not apply to me. So I'd like to have all these questions answered before I'm willing to let you guys proceed with any of this.
Thank you.
Nikki, you could,
I guess I would ask that you put those questions in writing so that we don't miss any of your questions, and we're happy to respond.
Who would I send those to?
You can send them to me, and my office is just next door.
and,
Okay.
and all, to my knowledge, this is the one that is,
Nancy Lane.
but would have to be annexed first anyway.
And
Is that
that's the
accurate?
process that's still going on.
Yeah, that's another question. Now, is this annexation specifically just for the sewer installation? So no other reasons couldn't be used to maybe get city water or be part of the city? None of those other things?
That's completely separate,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay,
And
strictly
we
for
can
the
only
sewer.
answer on behalf of the sanitary district. We
Sure.
can't answer on behalf of the city.
I'll get you those
Okay.
questions.
Thank
Good
you.
question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, it's about 10:45. We're doing a lot better without Bill Smith here on that time, so. I would entertain, with no other comment, Jack, did you? Okay, so entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.